A drive that shook a neighborhood. And national politics. But in a city as heavily populated and congested as Delhi, encroachments aren't restricted to Jahangirpuri alone. Illegal constructions are far more the norm than the exception here. An India Today ground report, however, found the epic glass house and stones proverb playing out in the city's political circles. Take a look at the house of Raja Iqbal Singh, the mayor of the North Delhi Municipal Corporation. The man who ordered bulldozers into Jahangirpuri and defended the drive as part of anti-encroachment exercise.
जिन्होंने इंक्रोच सरकारी जमीन को कब्जे कर रखे हैं वो अपने आप ही इसको हटा लें, ना तो जेसीबी हमें दोबारा लाना पड़ेगा और जेसीबी रेगुलर आता रहेगा। जेसीबी वहाँ काम करेंगे जब तक इंक्रोचमेंट खत्म नहीं होती, जेसीबी बिल्कुल चलेगी।
When we turned the lens at the mayor's own home and neighborhood, we found these encroachments jutting out several feet brazenly into the streets and up in the air. When confronted, the mayor promised to clear the illegal constructions.
आपके घर के बाहर भी जो इंक्रोचमेंट है, आप मानते हैं कि आपकी भी गलती है इस चीज को लेकर के आप भी इसको रिमूव करवाएंगे?
देखो, मैंने आपको पहले ही कह दिया, इंक्रोचमेंट कहीं पर भी होगी तो वो हटेगी, भले हम खुद हटाएंगे ना तो फिर कॉर्पोरेशन अपने आप हटा देगी उसको।
Meet the Delhi BJP President Adesh Gupta, another proponent of bulldozer politics.
बुलडोजर एक ऐसा शब्द, एक ऐसा यंत्र है जो अतिक्रमण को हटाने वाला है, जो रोहिंग्या बांग्लादेशियों को हटाने वाला है, जो आम आदमी पार्टी जैसे तमाम राजनीतिक दलों के जो तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति के मंसूबे हैं उनको भी भगाने वाला है।
But that's how the BJP leader's own house stands at West Patel Nagar, from where he is a councillor himself. A building spilling out of its boundaries.
कि आपके घर पर भी मैं गया था, तस्वीर भी लेकर के आया, वहां पर भी दिख रहा था सीढ़ियां बनी है, इस तरीके का है, रैंप बना हुआ है, तो क्या उनको भी तोड़ा जाएगा?
देखिए, नगर निगम सारी कार्रवाई करता है। अगर वहां कहीं भी कोई इलीगल है, कहीं भी कुछ भी, और इस तरह की अगर इंक्रोचमेंट है तो क्यों नहीं तोड़ा जाना चाहिए, क्यों नहीं कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए?
Properties used by some Aam Aadmi Party leaders in Delhi also violate building codes. This is the office of Manoj Tyagi at Khajuri Khas. Aam Aadmi Party's opposition leader in the East Delhi Municipal Corporation. This dilapidated building too encroaches on public land.
सबसे ज्यादा जिम्मेदारी जिसकी बनती है बीजेपी शासित नगर निगम की बनती है। भाजपा जो 15 साल से नगर निगम के अंदर बैठी है, उसकी जिम्मेदारी थी कि दिल्ली के अंदर जितनी भी एंक्रोचमेंट है उसको साफ करे, उसको होने ना दे।
Complaints against alleged illegal constructions have mounted across Delhi. But bulldozers have been too swift in targeting one neighborhood after the Ram Navami clashes, sparing years-old encroachments at properties used by Netas. With Sushant Mehta and Kunal Kumar in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Sushant and Kunal have blown the lid of what most people would know is one of the worst kept secrets in this country. The fact is, across this country, across the cities of this country, unauthorized constructions, if they involve VVIPs, can get away. So I'm going to ask the questions today. Bulldozers for the poor, what about those netas? Why are the rules not the same? Why is there no uniform bulldozer policy, if at all? Why only after riot do bulldozers suddenly appear in certain areas? Why do some areas get away and others don't? Questions to be raised. Anjali Bhardwaj is someone who's been working on issues of transparency and accountability. She is one of India's foremost public activists. Joining me now is also Jasmine Shah of the Aam Aadmi Party. I will also be joined by Abhishek Dutt, Congress's spokesperson. But look at this. Harish Khurana, the BJP spokesperson, was sitting on the show 5 minutes ago. He has listened to the story and walked out. Harish Khurana of the BJP, son of former Chief Minister of Delhi, Madan Lal Khurana, was sitting on our show, and now is not taking our phone calls and has walked out. So Harish Khurana, if you're listening, if your party wants to answer questions, please come on the show. Otherwise, you need not have got up on listening the stories exposing our MLAs. But let's first get down to the brass tacks of this. And I want to start with you, Jasmine Shah, because there is an Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi. Your MLA is also being caught on the show, unauthorized constructions there. Do you concede that if you are a Neta in this city of VVIPs, you can get away with an unauthorized construction, but you will go into a Jahangir Puri and bulldoze the construction of alleged rioters and stone pelters?
Rajdeep, first let me categorically say that no kind of a crime, whether by a Neta or by a common citizen, is acceptable. In a mature democracy, we live by law and order and we respect all the law. So yes, to the extent that any Neta belonging to AAP has violated law, we will be the first to say that please prosecute them to the fullest extent.
No, but we have shown on the camera. However, Jasmine, just to say, we have shown on the camera that your opposition leader in the East Delhi Municipal Corporation, Manoj Tyagi, his house at Khajuri Khas has encroachments on public land. No point telling me in the studio. Tomorrow morning, will you go? Will Arvind Kejriwal direct him to demolish these encroachments?
Rajdeep, allow me even a minute to put this entire thing in context. Today, almost every alternate house in Delhi has either a chhajja that is going beyond the limit, has a ramp that is coming into the, and these, I'm not talking about unauthorized colonies, I'm talking about posh colonies of GK or Green Park. You see that often. Why has that happened over the last 15 years? We have to understand, Rajdeep, that we have in power a government, the BJP government in the MCD, which maintains, the building bylaws, which is built on the idea of, taking corruption on every aspect to do with buildings. Whenever the first illegality happens in any house, the BJP corporator shows up and says that, per square meter, this is the bribe you have to pay and everything is allowed. And that has led today a condition in Delhi that, almost every alternate house, you will find something or the other that is violating, because there is absolutely no law and order. There is complete Gunda Raj in Delhi. And that is today the reason that, we saw the incident in Jahangir Puri. And, over the last 2 days, we've been getting calls from all parts of Delhi that BJP corporators are now coming and saying that, look, what we've done in Jahangir Puri, we will come with a bulldozer, we'll raise your house. Please start giving us something, because they know this is the last few days they have in power. They've looted the people of Delhi for the last 15 years. Now they want to come back and take that final tranche of the loot that they've...
Jasmine, the BJP spokesperson, as I said, when he saw the story, has chosen not to appear on the show. You're making these allegations. They are serious allegations, but I will ask you one more time. Yeah, can I be my correspondents, Kunal and Sushant will come again tomorrow. They will come again to the East Delhi, your head. Will you ensure his encroachments are not there? Let us be clear. People living in glass houses cannot throw stones.
Rajdeep, that is why I categorically started by saying that if any of our leaders has violated any law, be it a building law or anything else, be the first to go and prosecute them. We know that who is going to prosecute. It's the MCD that does maintains building bylaws and removes encroachment. Okay. We saw what the MCD is doing today. They are calling up houses and people who have even the minors of encroachments and demanding bribe monies. They took first bribe money when the encroachment came up. In the last 15 years, tell me, BJP has been in power. Why do you see Delhi where every alternate house has an encroachment? They have only been looting people in the name of allowing these encroachments, and now they collect loot money. Otherwise, they said that हम आपके यहाँ JCB भेज देंगे, bulldozer चला देंगे. Is this how justice is going to be dispensed, or are we going to find a systemic solution to problems like these in the national capital?
Let Abhishek Dutt of the Congress party, because while we haven't found one of your local Congress councillors on camera, rest be assured there are many who presumably have these illegal encroachments. And remember, this started, many believe that even in 2009, Shailesh Gandhi, then in the Information Commission, said when your government was in power, Sheila Dikshit was Chief Minister, you controlled MCD, said there is a clear modus operandi at work to ensure illegal buildings can be built without any let or hindrance. Anyone in any city of this country knows that that's how it operates. That's why corporators have become enriched across India, because they are the ones who facilitate most of these illegal constructions. So I will ask you, Abhishek, that can the Congress really claim to come into any debate on illegal construction with its hands clean?
Let's go by the rule of law first. 78% of Delhi, as per the economic survey, is illegal. I'm repeating, 78% of Delhi. That's why in 2007 and 2014, Delhi Special Protection Act was introduced, which has secured all these buildings, because they realized that a lot of people in Delhi have done encroachments. They built beyond the permanent limit, and there has to be a law to secure them, for which a new law was to be made. Today, what I saw on your TV channel, it's very simple that the councillors and the rich can easily get away with any kind of...
There's a problem with your line. We need to get your line back. We'll try and get your line back. There's a problem with your line. You need to... Meanwhile, Harish Khurana has sent me a tweet. Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai, don't run this agenda. I'm not afraid of you. My connection got disrupted and you are saying I ran. Now I am calling your PCR, they are not responding. My producer has just told me, Mr. Khurana, we are trying to call you repeatedly. You're not picking up your phone. So please pick up your phone and come on the show, sir. We want to hear the BJP perspective. You were there on the show at 9 o'clock. We have not been able to connect with you the moment the story was aired. So please come back on the show if you want to have your party's view expressed. We would like to have you express it view. Anjali Bhardwaj, are you surprised at this whole illegal construction problem? Have anti-corruption activists looked at this seriously, and what have you all found?
Look, Rajdeep, many of us have been working for decades in slum settlements, in unauthorized colonies. We know what the reality is. There is a complete failure of urban planning in our country. There is absolutely no provision for low or very low income housing in the cities. There is huge scale migration, people, the poorest, the most marginalized, coming from villages in search of livelihoods to cities. This is not a new phenomenon. This has been happening for decades. And unfortunately, our city planners, our urban planners have been totally blind to this. There is absolutely no provision for these people who come in and are actually the backbone of the urban economy. I want to say this because the way the picture is painted very often is as if they are a burden in
no,
the
but they
cities
live in so-called unauthorized colonies, ma'am.
Absolutely.
They live in so-called unauthorized colonies.
Yes, Rajdeep, they do not do it out of choice. They do it because our urban planners have not provided for any housing with dignity, any low-income housing. Right. When they come to the cities, they settle down and then they are termed illegal settlements. They are called unauthorized settlements. Now, let me say this here, that these people, I was saying that they are the backbone of the urban economy. They work as construction workers, in factories, as domestic workers. They are really the reason and the way in which the cities are functioning, as it's enabled by them.
Right.
And yet they are not given any place to stay properly with proper infrastructure. You just have to step into an unauthorized colony or a slum to know the kind of poor infrastructure with which they are living. They're not living there out of choice. The second point that I want to make is that all of this, what we are today seeing as unauthorized and illegal, that is being called, is all done with the full knowledge of municipal authorities and of political parties and elected representatives. The fact is that our political parties treat all the people living in these settlements as vote banks. They are not taken care of, their basic infrastructure is not provided, and from every election to election, we see that they are threatened. They are openly told that if you don't vote for us, this will be razed. Your houses will be razed to the ground. Even today, if you go into slums today, there are surveys happening. People are being told that we don't know if your housing will be allowed or not, this slum will be allowed or not. And there is a clear agenda that municipal elections are coming, and this is happening for that reason.
All across
in 2012,
yes.
Rajdeep, the Delhi civic authorities gave a written note to the Supreme Court in which they said that 50% of Delhi's population lives in slum or slum-like conditions and only 25% lives in planned colonies. But what has happened today? What is the rush with which in Jahangirpuri the bulldozers have moved in? I think the timing is something that has to be questioned for two reasons. One is we are in the middle of a pandemic. There is economic recession. People don't have employment. Houses are being raised. How can this be done without giving even notice to the people? The second is that we are seeing this as a part of a pattern. Wherever there is communal tension, we are seeing bulldozers land up in those areas and start raising people's houses. This is totally unacceptable. This is a bulldozer raj that we are seeing coming
I've heard you out. I've heard you out. You've raised several important points, but I want to come back for a moment to a point that triggered off this, the story we've done. And I'm glad to see my friend Harish Khurana is back, because Mr. Khurana, we had lost you.
Rajdeep,
We had lost you at the top of the show. We were trying to connect with you. You did not join us at that moment.
Listen to me now. I have a strong objection. My house got electricity has gone. My Wi-Fi has got down, and you are running an agenda that I have run away from the debate. I'm sorry, Rajdeep. I will not accept this.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say that.
Okay, we accept an apology. If you, we are glad to have you back. We apologize, Mr. Khurana.
And you know,
1 minute.
Please tell the nation that you have called me for another topic, and now at the last moment you have changed the topic.
No.
But still,
Who told you this is the topic? Who told you we have changed the topic? What was the topic you were told?
But your agenda of running away, I'm not.
No, what was the topic? 1 minute. 1 minute. I will bring my just a minute, Mr. Khurana.
Agenda against us. Why?
What was the topic you were called on?
My electricity has gone for 5 minutes. It got 5 minutes to come back again.
What?
And you're running an agenda?
Mr. Khurana, what was the topic you were called on?
I want a topic to call on for another topic. I'll mail you.
No, please.
I'll mail you what topic I've got.
Please tell us. My producer is here in my earpiece saying we have very clearly said illegal constructions in the national capital. Do you want to answer the question or not?
Listen, Rajdeep, don't run this agenda.
Do you want to answer a question or not?
Not against us. Sorry.
Do you want to answer the question?
It was a technical glitch. It was a technical glitch.
You're claiming it's a technical glitch. We were trying to ring you up. You did not produce. Director, am I correct?
I'm sorry. I was strong objection. You should be sorry. You should be ashamed.
I have my producer has all the calls made to you. You are not coming. Do you want to answer?
My electricity has gone. My phone was off.
Do you want to answer or not?
My phone was off. I've ran away.
Do you want to answer?
अगर नहीं आना होता मैं नहीं आता.
Do you want to answer the question or not?
I want to answer it, but you should be sorry first.
I have apologized. I have apologized to you. Yes. Now, do you want to answer the question?
I'm not running with any of your questions, sir. I don't run.
Are you going to answer the question then?
But BJP don't run. BJP don't run an agenda.
Are you going to answer a question or not?
Yes, I'm going to.
Please tell me, why is it that your netas who called for bulldozers have unauthorized constructions in their houses?
Sorry?
Why do the netas who have called for bulldozers have unauthorized constructions in their houses?
Today you should understand the whole city, not even, I'll not say 98%. If you say 100% occupant people, whether it's a netas, whether it's in fact you, I'll challenge you. If you stay in Delhi, your own house will also be unauthorized construction over there. I challenge. Let's go to your house. Let's have a survey over there in your house.
Please come.
Don't say this. Don't run the agenda.
You're saying Adesh Gupta, against whom a High Court notice has been served, does not have an unauthorized construction?
अगर उन्होंने गलत किया है, तो he should be punished. I'm not here to defend anybody.
Good.
But if you say is only netas are there, no, my dear friend, your house, I challenge, your house is also under construction. I'm sorry to say that.
Please come. Please come. You're welcome. Please come. Anyway, while you have your glass of water, Abhishek Dutt, do you want to get into it? As I said, the Congress party is accused of being the originator of this.
Rajdeep, let's go by the facts. I don't want to scream unnecessarily.
and necessarily and waste our viewers' time. 78% of Delhi is illegal. This is what the Economic Survey of India says.
Not because of this. Abhishek, please. I'm not
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. No.
Yeah, go ahead,
I'm not
Abhishek.
talking about anyone, Harish. Let's speak as one Delhi and let's talk on facts. There's no point screaming at each other. 78% of Delhi is absolutely illegal. That's what the Economic Service. When you show these houses on your TV screen, especially to all political leaders, you're most welcome to visit all the Congress leaders also. The fact is, all this comes under Delhi Protection Act, and this is what the BJP violated. This is the copy of the act, which secures many people like you, maybe me and a lot of us, very clearly that any house built before 2007 and any unauthorized colony built before 2014 comes under pure protection. Because yes, at that time the technology was not that great, and we were not the only ones in municipal corporation, there were the parties also. But the government of India came up with a plan to protect them. Similarly, when
use the Vendors Act, which very clearly said before removing any vendor, there's section 3, subclause 3 that you need to verify the papers first. The government has failed to provide with the town vending committee. They failed to provide in Delhi. 4.5% of Delhi were to be given licenses of vending. All this, if it was officially done, there would be no bribes. The reason why Bharatiya Janata Party and Municipal Corporation and the Delhi government is not introducing the Vending Act is because they don't want to limit themselves to 450,000 people approximately in Delhi. Yes, when they went to Jangirpuri is part of 49 resettlement colonies of Delhi. All these 49 resettlement colonies originally used to be Juggi clusters. 45 square feet, 25 square feet, something smaller than your TV studio. These were the sizes of houses given to these people, and yes, they built over it. But all that come under protection. I want to ask Bharatiya Janata Party, what made them send one bulldozer and a series of bulldozers overnight to Jangirpuri? Are they officially looking at cleaning all of Delhi? Will they have the guts to enter Sainik Farms and set up an example on your TV channel, Rajdeep?
You're saying if you're in an affluent colony, no bulldozer will enter?
Absolutely. Tell me one thing. I will challenge your TV reporters. Enter Arvind Kejriwalji's official residence tomorrow morning, 6 Flag Lane. Massive illegal construction you will see. And I challenge Bharatiya Janata Party to take action over there tomorrow. I'm saying it on your TV channel. You will see big halls which are encroached on public land.
You're claiming Mr. Kejriwal's house. You're claiming Mr. Kejriwal's house as illegality. Jasmine, you want to... No, let him now respond. You made a serious charge against the Delhi Chief Minister that his house also has illegal encroachments.
Absolutely.
Jasmine, respond.
Rajdeep, if you're going to start by saying that every Delhiite has some illegal encroachment, then let first the occupants of the Akbar Road be investigated, who think that it is their family right to occupy premises and do whatever they want to do with the premises for decades altogether. But first, let me come back and talk about what Mr. Harish Khurana, he made a very important statement. He accepted that in the last 15 years of BJP rule in the local bodies, the shining achievement of the MCDs has been to allow encroachment in everybody's house, Neta or common person, rich or poor, and they feel that this is something that they can leave behind as an achievement. And this shows that the unscrupulous, corrupt manner in which BJP councillors have been taking money. No encroachment happens without any money. Mind you, the engineer earns, the Neta earns. And if every house has an encroachment, which means corruption money has gone into the pockets in each BJP councillor's house.
Tell me, your MCD, if you are alleging MCD, then my dear friend, Arvind Kejriwal ke ghar mein jo construction hai, have you given the money to MCD? Tell me.
Please don't talk nonsense on this show. You are caught red-handed with the fact that today there is a rampant lint mafia that operates in Delhi. And for each house, for each locality, you have set up a bribe rate per square meter. I mean, this is happening in the national capital, not in some corner of the country. Your illegality, your criminality has been exposed in front of the entire nation.
Let Harish Khurana have one final word. Yes, Mr. Khurana.
Rajdeep, let's take your cameraman along with your Arvind Kejriwal house. Let's have a check over there.
Last
If we
time, Mr.
don't
Khurana,
have
you
a
went to Arvind
unconstitutional-
Kejriwal's house.
Do
We
it
saw the
tomorrow.
ruckus your people
I said it,
created.
Rajdeep. Do it tomorrow.
They
Let's do
threatened,
it.
they
Let's
broke
do it.
CCTVs, they broke
Let's
barriers.
go inside
This
the
is
house
what your
and
people
check
do.
whether the
People are
unauthorized construction has
under
been happened
goons,
or not.
criminals, and you
Okay.
only talk the language of bulldozers. That is the legacy of BJP in this country.
Let's talk sense. Let's go and take the India
Rajdeep,
Today team
You,
and ask the team over
you
there
have
inside
become
the
a
Arvind
party
Kejriwal
of
house
goons
and
and
let's check it.
criminals.
Okay,
And all that you want today is disturb peace. You have no vision
Let's
for
check
the
it.
country.
I
You
will
have
be the
no
first
vision
one who
for
will
the national
apologize.
capital.
You know, you
Whole
want,
country.
it's very
Agar
interesting,
Arvind
producer,
Kejriwal
bring
is
down the
that
voices.
perception
You know, our
nahi
viewers need to know. Here is the BJP saying, let's go tomorrow to Arvind Kejriwal's house, so is the Congress, and go to his house and find illegal encroachments. There is the Aam Aadmi Party saying, let's go to Akbar Road and find the encroachments that the Congress leaders have done. And both the parties are claiming that the BJP municipal councillors are involved in a bribe rate. This is the state, and this is Delhi. It could be any part of the country. In Mumbai, corporators are the ones who have enriched themselves. As is being pointed out by Anjali Bhardwaj, amidst all this, the poor are the ones who are accused of living in so-called unauthorized colonies and are thereby living on the margins of society, even as they work in our houses, and they are the ones who keep a city going. I want all of you to reflect on this in a week where the bulldozer has been the defining image. Listen to the voices as you've listened of our netas. Listen to the voice of the activist and ask yourselves, do we need a real policy for urban planning or not? I want you to think about it. Is this the kind of India we want, where there are different rules for our netas and different rules for the Aam Aadmi? And unless we resolve that, we won't get anywhere. I'll give you a final word, Anjali Bhardwaj. Do you believe? What is the solution? Is there a solution? The netas will keep screaming at each other. Quickly, 1 minute.
Rajdeep, it is the poorest, the most vulnerable people who are living in these colonies. I think the least that political parties can do today is to condemn the manner in which the illegal, selective, and ruthless manner in which the bulldozers were brought without giving any notice, without following any due process, and people's houses have been razed. I think that as a society we need to reflect, but also we need to understand that this kind of bulldozer Raj cannot be allowed. We cannot have a situation where anytime there are these kind of conflagrations, there is communal problems, there will be bulldozers brought in almost as an act of revenge. So I think we need to understand that these are people who are the backbone of our society, of our economy. They need to be treated with basic dignity and in a lawful manner.
Okay. Let me leave it there.
Final word.
The rule of the... Yes, final word, Harish, before you get angry with me again.
No, because you know what I was angry with. Listen, Rajdeep, you're a lot of talking about bulldozers. Bulldozer is communal in Jahangirpuri. But stone pelting is non-communal. Very, very, very nice. You know, what a diplomatic thing, you know. Delhi bulldozer is communal, but Rajasthan bulldozer is non-communal. What a double standard, you know. I mean, we all know, yeah. So same thing is happening in Jahangirpuri.
Okay.
Hindu temples have been raised in Rajasthan. Nothing has been, no one is talking about that.
Okay, by the way, in Rajasthan, there's a municipal... Just a minute. Since you mentioned Alwar, let me clarify. There's a state government in Rajasthan, which is Congress. The municipal authority in Alwar is BJP. That's the reality. But yes, Abhishek, that you also get a final word.
This is the letter by the Bharatiya Janata Party Municipal Corporation. I'll just share the letter with you, officially asking permission to raise down the mandir. So I think Mr. Khurana needs to check his facts, right?
Please show the letter. Please show the letter on screen. Where is the letter?
I'm just showing it to you.
Abhishek, Kapil Sibal क्यों नहीं गए? Kapil Sibal क्यों नहीं गए वहाँ कोर्ट के अंदर कि मंदिर नहीं गिरना चाहिए?
I'll just share the letter with you before your show finishes. One second. Hold your horses. I'm going to send you water.
Okay.
One second.
Kapil Sibal कोर्ट क्यों नहीं गए राजस्थान कोर्ट में?
One second.
Okay, time out now. There's the letter. Okay, we leave it there. Clearly, the political slugfest will continue, but as I said, we need urban planning to be redefined. Why should a colony where the poor live be immediately seen as unauthorized and then regularized just before an election? and why do the rich seem to get away? Think about these. These are the issues, my friends, we as citizens need to think about.